Let's introduce George Oxley from Pleasington. The reason we're going to chat with George is because he's overcome something which affects around 700,000 people in the UK. They have a stammer. It's defined as a tense struggle to get the words out. Musician Ed Sheeran, he had a stammer when he was younger. He's spoken openly about how he found rap music an effective remedy. Golfing champ Tiger Woods also talked about how his sport helped him overcome his stammer when he was younger. And now we're going to hear George's story. George, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming in. When did it first manifest itself, your stammer?
My first memories from stammering are when I was about 7 years old at primary school. I remember kids making fun of me and being in the playground really struggling to get my words out.
What brings it on? I mean, this is an odd situation you're in now in a studio. Will the heightened tension, would that bring it on? Do you agree with this definition? It's the struggle to get the words out?
Definitely, yeah, in fearful situations and stressful situations, the stammer definitely gets worse.
It seems, and it, as an outsider looking in, utterly frustrating, is it?
Absolutely, you've hit the nail right on the head. It's so frustrating when you can't do a simple thing that even a child can do. And
of course, there is a pressure there, maybe an internal pressure, because you're thinking people are waiting for me to get to the end of the sentence, and that just builds it up, and that will make it worse, I guess.
Definitely, yes. You stammer because you fear stammering. So when you're going into a situation and all you're thinking about is, I don't want to stammer, the
vicious circle, isn't it?
That just makes you stammer.
So you were 7. Yeah. Kids can be cruel, we know that. Any sort of difference in the playground, whatever it is. And what treatment was there then, when you were a kid?
I went to see various speech therapists, tried a whole bunch of different relaxation things, and it would work for that 15 minutes or half an hour or even hour session. But when you left your comfort zone of that room and went into a fearful situation, the stammer would come back. It
would make you not want to put your head above the parapet, wouldn't it? Well, I'm speaking for myself here. It'd make me just want to crawl into a cave, and it's like, you're here now in, well, the beautiful surroundings of our studio, the glamour of it all, but it is an odd environment. And there'd be so many people who thought, why would I put myself into that? Especially when it is something as fundamental as speech, which you need every waking moment, don't you?
Absolutely, and then you turn to avoidance. Avoiding words, sounds and situations altogether.
Does it feel like a battle?
Absolutely, every single day was a battle for me. Every time I walked up to somebody, my thoughts in my head would be, am I going to stutter? What am I going to be able to say? Is he going to think I'm...
So the pressure's already there. The conditions already... You're not alone. 700,000 people in the UK have it. You were told you'd grow out of it, is that right?
Absolutely. You're kind of told, and your parents hope that you're going to grow out of it, and once you get to your late teens, that's when you start to realise, I've got this for life.
And it is the mental side of it, isn't it? It is the attitude, and it is the sadness. What we're hearing, people listening now are hearing a physical manifestation of a stammer, but it is how it makes you feel, isn't it? And there must have been some pretty dark days, because why should you be defined by this? You got a lot going on in your life, you know. Why should that label be there?
Absolutely. Going back to your first point, when we're on the programme, the McGuire Programme, we talk about an iceberg. The physical side of it is just the tip of the iceberg. When you're overcoming and gaining control of the stammer, it's the bit underneath the water, the psychological side of it, which is the real battle.
It affected your confidence. It must have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Stop you wanting to do things.
Yeah, stopped me wanting to do things in social situations. It was terrible. In front of friends and family, I used to sit there and think, I've got so much to say and so little confidence to say it.
It is sad, isn't it? Because dialogue is part of the human condition. Communication is what life is built around. And you're already going into speech with a pressure there and with a worry there, which is just going to make it worse. So the McGuire Programme, how does that help?
So the physical side of the McGuire Programme is a way of breathing called costal breathing from the costal diaphragm. The same way opera singers breathe. Mm-hmm. It's far more powerful, and it's not habituated to freeze under fear like the cruel diaphragm is. So that's a method of gaining control. And then there's all the psychological side of it, non-avoidance and learning to accept yourself as somebody with a stutter.
Which is a big deal. You've grown up with this, and you will have avoidance techniques, won't you? You've got to forget them and just live your life.
Absolutely, you've nailed it on the head. When you first join the programme, you've got to leave all the avoidance and tricks behind you.
How are you now?
I feel so in control.
That's fantastic. And now you're following your dream. You're joining the military. You're going to Sandhurst, aren't you, next year?
Absolutely. I've always wanted to become an officer in the army, and never had the confidence because of the stutter. And since joining the programme and gaining control and the confidence that's given me, I've been able to gain a place at Sandhurst.
Are you able now, when you're wanting the words to form and you're wanting to project the words, are you able now not to grow frustrated with yourself?
Absolutely. I've got the tools, techniques to say whatever I want to say, whenever I want to say it, and that's the biggest thing for me. It's hard to put into words to somebody that doesn't have a stutter how good it feels to be able to say what you want to say.
What would you say to your 7-year-old self now, if you could? Because you've gone through all those years. Now there's light at the end of the tunnel, and now you've got the confidence.
I would say keep hope. Keep going. Don't think it's going to be like this forever. Keep going. Don't give up.
Lovely meeting you. Thanks so much. Keep in touch with us, won't you?
Will do. Thanks for having me on.
Not at all. George Oxley from Pleasington with us here in the studio. Just a little after 12:30.